Yeah, I wasn't even going to do a video on this, but because all y'all snobs out there really showing me a lot of love, sarcastically saying. The reason why I say that is because look at what they've been doing with my videos again. I got 18 dislikes on the switch problems at New Hyde Park, 7 dislikes on the weather update, and then this. I go out and I make a video, a personal video, and y'all snobs have to vote down my video 21 times. All right, and then we got this next one, 8. Because if you go against this demographic, they don't want to be exposed, and this is what they do. This is one of their tactics. Well, I'm going to expose one of your favorite people in this video, and that is Supervisor Joe Saladino. Now, we all know Joe Saladino. He's turned Hicksville into a ghetto. And this is what goes on in Hicksville. This was shared on the Save Our Hicksville Facebook page. Taken, I think this might have been taken today. Look at this. There you go. So this guy's literally just going nuts in the middle of the street. And nobody cares. There's a vacant building over there because Joe Saladino only cares about his own kind in Massapequa. Well, now we have proof that Joe Saladino is actually a racist. Now, we all knew that he was a racist, but now a Newsday article confirms that he's a racist. So we all know that the South Shore is a lot of these towns like Massapequa, a lot of these South Shore towns are lily white towns that they only want to be with their own kind, and they won't let anyone else move there. They won't let people with mental health problems live there. They won't let minorities live there either. And our Joe Saladino represents that demographic to a T. He is the typical kind of person you find on the South Shore. So let's read this article here from Newsday here, and this pretty much confirms everything we already know about the South Shore. Massapequa, Belmore, Merrick, Rockville Center, and Lynbrook too, to some extent. All those South Shore towns, they're all the same. You can, pretty much, except for Freeport and Baldwin, which are designated ghetto areas. But let's get to this article here. So, an amended complaint filed in August in a federal housing discrimination lawsuit alleges that Oyster Bay Town Supervisor Joseph Saladino refused to sell his home in 2006 to a couple because the man is black. An allegation Saladino denies. Melville-based real estate broker Laura Cusimano said in an affidavit referenced in the complaint that her clients, Darren and Marlene Thomas, tried to purchase Saladino's Massapequa home. Cusimano negotiated the sale of the New Hampshire Avenue house for $533,000, but said in the affidavit that after Saladino saw that Darren Thomas was black, he refused to complete the sale. Darren Thomas was subsequently was embroiled in a separate 11-year code enforcement case with the town for a house he later purchased in Hicksville. Yeah, because he's not allowed to live in Massapequa, he had to go live in Hicksville with the crackheads. He was acquitted earlier this year. Oyster Bay prosecutors alleged code violation as criminal charges. Harry Kuttner, the Thomases' Mineola-based attorney, filed a lawsuit in 2011 in U.S. District Court in Central Islip alleging that Thomas was being selectively prosecuted because of his race. He filed the amended complaint on August 22nd. In the complaint, Kuttner alleges the town launched a racist-based criminal prosecution case against Thomas after the Saladino house purchase fell through. Saladino, a Republican New York State Assemblyman at the time, said selling the home to a black man would hurt his political career and that it was even possible the neighbors would burn it down, according to Cusimano's affidavit, which was taken in 2011. In her affidavit, Cusimano states that Saladino pulled me aside, introduced himself, and asked if they were the buyers. When I said yes, he blurted out, "They're black. Are you kidding me? I can't sell them. They can't buy the house. The neighbors will never accept them. Oh my God, I'll never be elected again. I'd be finished." Cusimano had taken the Thomases to the house for another viewing when Saladino stopped by, she said in the affidavit. Saladino denied the incident occurred. That is outrageous and wrong, and the proof that none of this exists is the fact that I have not sold the home, Saladino said in an interview, adding in a subsequent email that he didn't sell the house because no buyer met my price. According to the real estate website Trulia, the house was listed again in March 2008 for $499,990, $33,000 less than what the Thomases offered. Cusimano said in the affidavit that shortly after the encounter at the house, an attorney for Saladino told Kuttner that Saladino would not be selling his home. Kuttner said he was not present during the meeting, but that Cusimano informed him of what happened soon afterward. So there you go. I'll put the link in the article below. So this is what's going on the South Shore. And of course, when this gets exposed and this kind of activity gets exposed, there's going to be the South Shore folks love to intimidate, and the thumbings down is one of the ways they intimidate people like me and other people who produce content on YouTube exposing exactly what's going on the South Shore. They want to keep their little enclave for their own kind going, even though they're breaking almost every single law. They're breaking Nassau County law, they're breaking state laws, they're breaking federal housing laws as well. They continue to get away with this, along with the preferential treatment, because Wall Street controls the state, and the state looks the other way. And no, they need to be exposed. They must be exposed for what they're doing, because it's not right that you can discriminate against people, all right? Whether it be the race, whether it be their sexual orientation, whether it be a disability, it's illegal to discriminate. And these people think they can keep getting away with it, only putting their own kind in there. And Joe Saladino represents that to a T. And this is exactly another reason why Joe Saladino is letting Hicksville fall into shambles. Because Hicksville is not a lily-white neighborhood full of his own kind. Hicksville is a diverse community full of all kinds of people, and therefore he is letting all the problems are being dumped there, whether it be the bums, the crackheads, whether it be the abandoned stores, whether it be illegal rentals full of criminals. It doesn't matter. He puts it all there, while his own kind in Massapequa sit pretty. They sit pretty, living the good life, while people in the middle of the island are suffering through a hell every single day that is getting worse. All right? And I'm not going to sit by and be intimidated by these snobs who think they can intimidate me and intimidate other people into being quiet. We must speak up. We must rise up against these people on the South Shore. All right? I've had it. All right? This is exactly why they need to be exposed. We've seen them self-evacuating trains. We've seen the racist comments. We've seen trains stopped at Jamaica because somebody who with different colored skin gets on the train and they think he's a terrorist. These are the kind of people you're dealing with on the South Shore. They are racists. They are elitists. And if you're not one of them, they're going to make your life a living hell. They won't let you live there. They won't even let you park at your train station. All right, that's the way these people are, and they must be called out. They must be exposed, and the light of justice must shine on these people, and these people cannot get away with what they're getting away with any longer. We have to rise up against Wall Street and their special interests, whether they get the best train service and sit comfortable on a train while we're jammed in like sardines, whether their towns get all the investment while our towns have full of empty stores. It just never ends with these people, and they think they can get away with what they're doing because it's all part of the plan to ruin the middle of the island, drive out the middle class, drive out everybody but their own kind, and the middle will just become a ghetto full of crackheads, bums, and illegals and gangs and empty stores. That's what they want to do. We can't let them get away with it. And besides, like I said, the very existence of Long Island, if you put everything on the South Shore and you get one bad hurricane and it all gets washed away, then there's nothing. So, stupidity at its finest, racism exposed, and we've seen the racism. Remember a while ago we spoke about that guy in Wanto who threatened his neighbors because they were black. This is exactly what's going on. Even if you somehow can make it there, these people will literally try to terrorize you so you leave, and they get away with it. They get away with it. Well, it's time they stop getting away with it. It's time they pay for what they are. And they are snobs, but they're not only snobs, they're racists and they're criminals for breaking the law, trying to terrorize people who are different and then keeping people out who are different out of their communities. This kind of behavior must stop, and it must be exposed. And I will not be intimidated by anyone on here trying to thumbs down my videos when I go against this demographic. We must stand united against this demographic, much like the fearless girl needs to be put right back in front of that bull downtown. That bull needs to be stopped, and we need to be that fearless girl. I will be standing in front of that bull, and we all need to stand in front of that bull and get this kind of rein in Wall Street once and for all, and these snobs must pay for what they're doing, and they must be exposed. They don't want to be exposed, but they must be exposed. So that wraps up this video. This is another example of what goes on the South Shore of Long Island, and particularly Nassau County, and particularly those towns like Merrick, Belmore, Wantaw, Seaford, Massapequa Park, even Babylon to some extent, even Rockville Center in Lynbrook to some extent. It's not as bad there, but it exists along the South Shore. It's their enclave for their own preppy, white, finance professional kind. They want to set it up. We got to stop them from setting it up and dismantle that enclave so everybody can live there, all right? Not just their own kind. So that wraps up this video, but of course, we all need to be treated fairly, all right? We all need to be treated fairly. So thank you for watching, and take care. And we must stand strong against Wall Street and expose the snobs. They must be exposed for who they are.